Hey guys, it's BlockchainBrad, and today I'm talking to, very excitingly, a woman in blockchain, a CEO in blockchain. Her name is Val Yap. Val, thank you so much for coming on the channel today.
Hi everyone, I feel really honored to be part of the channel. Thanks so much for having me. So I'm the CEO and founder of PolicyPal Network, and very amazing to meet everyone here.
Well, we're so excited to have you on, and as I said, it's great to see a woman in power at the very top. So, as Val explained, she is the CEO and founder of PolicyPal, a very exciting insurance blockchain project. So, without further ado, let's get stuck into what it is, Val. Can you tell us what, in a nutshell, is PolicyPal?
So PolicyPal started about 2 years ago. Started because I wanted to help individuals out there to manage, buy insurance policies all in one place. So being the first company launched in Singapore to enter MAS, Singapore Regulatory FinTech Sandbox, first and only one that has graduated so far. We started working with blockchain startups based in Singapore, and we identify a huge problem out there, which is this lack of insurance for all crypto assets. So we've been working together with them, with a global insurer, to co-create a new product called Crypto Protect Insurance, offering it to them. That's the extension of PolicyPal Network, and to be able to offer peer-to-peer mutual aid insurance for the unbanked.
Okay, so essentially you're looking at trying to offer it for the unbanked, for all the different parties who possibly can't access insurance and utilizing the blockchain. You're going to be doing that firstly in Singapore, is that right?
So we start off with Indonesia. So because we've been based in Singapore, we have a license here operating, and we're looking to launch out of Singapore, targeting the emerging markets. So Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar. So all these countries are all lack of insurance now. So based on the research we have done, is 4.4 billion people in the whole Asia lack of proper insurance, mainly because they do not have access to them because it's expensive. There's no agent selling it to them at the moment. So by introducing peer-to-peer mutual aid insurance, we lower the cost of insurance and also establish the decentralized insurance to make sure that people have access to the insurance at the right point.
I see. So your target market firstly is the Southeast Asian belt, starting with Indonesia, because of the population that doesn't have insurance. But let's pull it back a bit for a moment, and out of respect for yourself. Now, for any great project, you need an excellent leader, someone who has real-world experience and has been in the industry. So I've noticed that you have some pretty impressive credentials behind yourself. Firstly, you are recognized as one of the 30 under 30 Forbes for finance and venture capital. Very impressive. But also London University, let's talk about that. What did you study?
So I studied business management in Imperial College London. It was a great program for me to understand more about business management, strategy, and how do I grow the business. So I have a couple of friends actually now in the startup scene. So after graduation from my university with a postgrad degree, I secured a job in a few different companies, from Allianz Insurance to PricewaterhouseCoopers doing risk assurance before moving back to Singapore due to family situation. I started working in a bank for 2.5 years before starting PolicyPal.
Well, I'm sure that the industry is very happy that you moved back to Singapore, given what you achieved. But let's talk about some of the really high-ranking roles you've had. You've been involved in as an assistant vice president at the OCBC Bank, and you also led a very important initiative with regard to the OCBC One Touch campaign. So you've really had a lot of experience already at the highest levels, and that is important, obviously, for investors to know a bit about the capacities. And we're going to be talking about the team later. There's some other credentials I noticed from your teammates within the 14 core team members that are also strong. But let's move across now to understanding the fundamentals of the platform. So if you could tell us a bit more about the twofold vision. What is that, and what does it mean?
So the twofold visions mainly is because we want to solve the problem of crypto assets that people think that is really dangerous, questioning that, oh, is it safe to buy crypto assets? They're on exchanges. These days there's hacks happening. There's news that recently just out in Japan, I wouldn't mention which one, that is being hacked again. So how do we solve that? So our vision is to bring the peace of mind to all the crypto assets holder that they are able to keep the assets, buy the assets, keep it in the wallet, but pay a sum of premium. Anything happen to their account, they are able to receive a sum assured.
I see.
So it's the same thing as when you put money in a bank account. How much is assured? In Singapore, is assured up to 50,000. Well, people are questioning if I put it in my crypto wallet, there's no assurance to it at the moment. So our vision is to ensure that people feel comfortable to enter the market and grow the whole crypto space. That's the first problem that we're solving. The next one is that how do we ensure that everyone out there is able to get insurance at the right price. There's no discrimination of because they have certain illness or diseases or whatsoever, they're not able to get insurance. And also the claims payout. So that's the main thing that I would like to solve, because I myself started PolicyPal because of the difficulties handling the insurance for my family. First of all, my mom's insurance policy claims payout was rejected. I went through a lot of troubles handling that. So with the blockchain technology, with automated claims payout, with pre-programmed conditions on the smart contract, we are able to solve all these problems. And targeting the emerging markets means that we can solve the first-hand issue that people are not insured. And then down the road, of course, there's opportunity to make it global, going to mature markets.
Right.
But the immediate market is actually the emerging countries in Asia.
Right, and that's really clear.
Yeah.
So you've explained that you've touched on areas like life insurance, for example. So you're not just about crypto assets in the long term, you're about actual real-world insurance. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on and talk about some of the problems that you foresee currently in the market, because no doubt with every venture, with every project, underpinning that is a need. So what is the primary need right now in the centralized systems of insurance that you think that your project can solve?
First of all, the centralized system is the one party deciding whether they want to accept this customer, whether the policy, how long it stays, and as well as when there's any claim, do they reject it, approve it? If let's say because of the loss ratio issue, in every insurance company, they need to maintain a healthy loss ratio. They cannot have too high loss ratio, too low loss ratio. Too low, the regulators is going to question them. Is the underwriting done properly? Is the product mainly to make revenue from the market? The regulators not want that. But if it's too high loss ratio, of course, it brings losses to the company. So they need to manage that. When they start managing it, it means that they start rejecting or going grounds for customers' claim.
Right.
They were like, okay, maybe because I can't claim, I can't provide this claim at this moment because my loss ratio is too high or too low. I go around circling it.
I see.
So it causes all these issues.
Yes.
But with blockchain technology, as we have written on the white paper, everyone out there should can go there and check it out. PolicyPal Network. You can actually see the whole diagram of what we have illustrated with decentralized insurance, with automated claims payout. When information is sent, be it from the policy holder or the smart asset, and it matches with the pre-programmed conditions set on the smart contract that is on the public blockchain, we are able to match it and pay out the claims automatically. One example is agriculture insurance. If we are able to get weather statistics information, is there a drought, is there a flood, we are able to pay out the claims automatically to the farmers. Okay. This will solve the problem of back and forth communications, admin work that is required, causing insurance to be expensive and also tedious to people.
Absolutely, and we're going to talk about some of those things. So you've touched on the issue of the paper trail. You're going to remove some of the aspects of the middlemen through its automation. You're going to certainly reduce the time in which it takes to achieve these kind of transactions and the cost as well. So that's exciting given that you're utilising the benefits of blockchain. But again, fundamentally, is the primary problem the centralised market itself of insurance, or is there other problems you foresee in the insurance game with your experience?
It's a huge industry. I have to say that there are a lot of problems out there to be solved. First of all, is discrimination of policy inception, claims payout. the operations back and forth because in insurance currently it's being distributed by insurance agents. They need to go through a form, a paper form, and then submit it. So the whole policy inception takes weeks. But with blockchain technology, we are able to solve it because information will be decentralized. We are able to get it at the right timing. This way, policy inception will be instant or near to instant. If there's any information that's required, follow-up will be all done through digital platform. So we are able to solve all these with our new technology that we are implementing for the insurance industry.
I see. So you're essentially a systematized approach to insurance.
Yes. So we're going on a platform approach.
Yes. So given that, I want to sort of present the bold argument that no doubt many of the centralized companies would be concerned about your model because you're essentially going to take their business. Have you had that sentiment presented to you yet?
I guess some people will ask why don't the current partners of PolicyPal come in as well? So our current business in Singapore partner with actually close to 20 insurance companies based here.
Right.
So we do have partnership with them, and we are updating our white paper. We are opening up the channel for them as well because their current customers are serving people who are a bit more wealthy or well-to-do, the first or second tier city of the emerging markets. But who are targeting the unbanked? Huge population is in Indonesia, 250 million people. 47% of them actually have smartphone, but a very low amount of them actually live in Jakarta or the second tier city. The rest of them do not have insurance, so that the other insurance companies potentially will love to join our platform and be one of the distributor to be able to touch on that. So this way, we act as a platform to offer any third parties, trusted third parties that we have working relationship with, to be able to help distribute the policies, suggest new insurance products, and also form the community to create the peer-to-peer mutual aid insurance.
I see. So your first point of call is to address the unbanked in the developing regions. What I found very interesting about your answer is that you are also moving towards the more developed regions, and you're going to also address, the middle class insurance policy system for, starting with China, as you mentioned. So that's exciting for the potential to expand your project. If we could talk about apps and technology, the reason is because you talked about phones. Is it going to be relatively easy for people to engage with PolicyPal, particularly in these regions like Indonesia?
The first thing is that we already have an existing business with mobile apps on the Play Store, App Store.
Okay, so it's existing and people can see the app?
I probably should just take it out and show it to you guys as well. Here, just a minute. So if you...
I'll actually show it for you on the screen. I'll show it for you. I'll put it up on the screen for you.
Okay, so it's an existing business. So we have the mobile app ready. Of course, people in Indonesia with smartphone is able to download on their Android phone to be able to buy the policy, submit the claim, get an overview of their coverage details all over there. But what happens if people don't have smartphones? How can they get insurance? It's through our other trusted parties, the convenience stores, the e-commerce stores, also the telecoms. So we've been speaking with partners over there to be able to help us with the key distribution.
Right. So with every great company, there's obviously a means in which people can contact you if there's any issues. So how strong is that part of your team presently?
Currently, our team have a 24/7 customer service support.
Okay.
So we do have a team that is handling it. That's in Singapore. The phone number is on our website. So, but do not. No. Call them.
I only ask because obviously that's a very important part of the process.
Yes. So when we first started, we didn't have the phone call. which is through emails and all. But I realized that insurance is really a trust factor. So some people will still want to be contacted by a phone call. That's why we allow that. So as I touch on the trust, that's really important. Why? Because PolicyPal been established for over 2 years now, being the first and the only company that gone through Singapore regulatory sandbox, a very well-known government worldwide, is that we have established the trust from the consumers, people out there that we are able to deliver. So as we speak to our partners in the emerging markets, they are very welcome to actually do a partnership, discuss on how do we launch in those cities.
Yes.
The second, the third tier city that we're targeting, and also what are the new products we can work together. So because they know that we are a young insure-tech startup, they call it insure-tech startup, we are able to think of new ideas and explore new products. So they are a bit more open in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think what's exciting about you is that often I talk to CEOs of new projects, brand new projects that have not existed in any way, shape or form previously. You're different to that because you have a platform built or that's existent pre-blockchain.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is that why you're so relaxed? Is that you're transitioning from something already existent?
You can say that I'm relaxed, but at the same time, there's quite a lot of things to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very thankful that so far our ICO process has been going really well. Mm-hmm. Pre-sale got oversubscribed within 3 days. Our whitelist was done within 2 hours, and then the upcoming KYC and crowd sales will be going smoothly. Mm-hmm. So that part I'm relaxed that our existing business already bring us like good customers, there's revenue, there's trusted partners, and we are very confident that when we establish a new market that we are already in discussion with, we have noticed that, be it the business partners and also the community that we've been speaking with, there's a support there that allow us to run instead of like walking or like taking steps.
I see.
So that's extremely important in this space because we believe that whatever we share with the community, with the public, we have to deliver. So we have proven that we are able to deliver for the past 2 years. We need to continue to do the same going forward as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the key features of your design as well. You talked about peace of mind, so we don't need to touch on that. But you also talked about the unbanked.
Yeah.
Just how far do you want to take the unbanked in your plan? Because you've mentioned where you're starting. Do you want to go global?
Yes, we do want to go global. And for the next 2 years, we'll be targeting the emerging markets in Southeast Asia and also North Asia. There's Philippines. Mm-hmm. But of course, the technology is a platform play, so we can launch in other markets as well. So we just completed our Asia roadshow. So we went to Taiwan, Hong Kong, Japan, and South Korea. So all these markets are actually how do you consider mature and developed markets. They were all really excited. Even the insurance company are saying, can we do a collaboration on this peer-to-peer mutual aid insurance? And our key focus is still targeting the unbanked. And of course, as a platform, you are able to scale quite quickly globally.
Yes, and what's interesting also, the reason why I ask is because I would assume that you had interest from other continents and countries within those continents because there's so many populations that are unbanked. There's so many that are disenfranchised and developing. So that must be exciting given that you are targeting first and foremost that cohort.
Yeah, definitely. And there's other markets as well, Latin America, etc.
Yes, exactly. Africa.
And being in the blockchain space, the great opportunities that you are connected to other blockchain startup space everywhere. Yes. So it's collaboration opportunity when we want to scale. Yeah.
Yes, and I'd love to talk to you about that more later. If we could also talk about how you mitigate elements of conflict as well. That's one of the key features. Because we mentioned previously about transparency and cost, but certainly the mitigation of conflict. How do you address that?
The conflict in terms of like insurance
Yes,
or
as a
like.
general feature you have, it's one of the key things that you know, advocate for.
So how do you mitigate the conflict of interest in insurance? Is that the peer-to-peer mutual aid insurance is basically a whole group of community gathering together, and then you put in a certain amount, be it a couple of dollars, and then a few dollars, and then put into the pool, and then any policy that needs to be paid out as claim will be from this pool. So there's no central party deciding whether they want the policy to be paid out, because PolicyPal platform only take 10% servicing fee on a monthly basis. Whether the claims is paid out or not is not decided by PolicyPal or any other parties. It's based on the conditions set on the smart contract, and also if let's say there's any manual intervention, our trusted third party will have to check it. But whether they approve or don't approve the claim, they will not be earning extra money if they reject the claim. But we'll be able to review their validation, whether they always approve claims, and then end of the day it's fraudulent case, then we will have to penalize the trusted party. So this way, there's measures put in place to ensure that the whole process is smooth, and at the same time there's no conflict of interest deciding that, oh, I don't want to pay out claims because I can generate more revenue.
Right, and I think that's a very important point, because we see it time and time again with the current models, and often there's rejections in place, as you even mentioned with your own, your family. What is also interesting is that you're trying to remove the subjectivities of the insurance industry itself. But I think we also need to be clear, you're not ridding the system of centralized third parties. You're actually encouraging and fostering integration with these third parties. Is that right?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. And that's important, because you're not simply just trying to challenge the status quo of insurance. You're just trying to redesign it in the blockchain.
Yes.
So if we could talk about now specifically a product of yours, the Crypto Protect design. Can you tell us a bit about that and why it's so important?
It's extremely important because these days we've seen news that exchanges or accounts being hacked, and then causing the community to lose some form of confidence in crypto space. As the whole market become a bit more mainstream, it's important that people feel assured when they create an account on an exchange, create a wallet to keep their assets there. That there's a sense of like assurance, a peace of mind that anything happen, being hacked, a certain sum of my money are like safe. Is all confirmed there. So we identify the problem as we speak to more blockchain startups, and also I myself got into crypto last year.
Right.
I got to know that money on the exchange, nothing is confirmed. You never know what's going to happen. As I speak to our insurance partners that we've been working together with, and then I asked them, a couple of them like, oh, crypto, no, can't touch that. But we managed to get a global insurer to say yes.
Which is amazing.
We are working on the POC together with another blockchain startup, ensuring the crypto wallet as a start. So the numbers are just numbers. So for example, if let's say I want to insure my wallet up to 10 million against any cybersecurity hack, any cyber hack, because the insurance is called cybersecurity insurance for crypto assets. So in case it's being hacked, and we can prove that it's being hacked,
then you're covered.
We are able to cover up to a certain amount, depending on how much they pay for their insurance premiums.
Okay.
But it comes with an assess as well. So what's an assess is like any car insurance. If you touch wood, you meet any accident, you have to pay an assess before you can get the sum assured, because they do not want people to have any fraudulent cases where they go around maybe getting in an accident to be able to earn the sum assured amount. So this will be applied the same for the Crypto Protect.
I see. So what's exciting is you've managed to find an underwriter for this when in the market that's very challenging. We also need to quickly just address the realities of hacking. We've heard about the one in Japan. I know you don't want to mention specifics of names, and I understand and respect that, but there's no question that the majority of those people would not have had insurance, and you've managed to find and secure an underwriter in a very volatile market, which is quite surprising in 2018 that you've managed to do that. So congratulations. If we could talk about now your model itself, your proof of stake design, is that correct in the blockchain?
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about that and why that's important?
That's extremely important because our vision is to ensure that the insurance industry is decentralized by introducing our own blockchain. But for a start, we are building it on the Ethereum testnet before we fork from there. So that we have our own stable blockchain that is called PolicyPal Network. There's two reasons. There's a few reasons. The two main reasons is that first of all, when it's decentralized, we need people to be running the proof of stake nodes to be able to ensure that the system is able to run on a decentralized basis. There's no central party controlling whether the system, the whole network works or not, whether the information that policyholder information is sent across safely, claims payout safely. So all this information, as long as it's run by all our token holders that are running the proof of stake, to be able to power the whole network. This will change how insurance industry currently is at the moment. Because right now, everything is decided by a central party. But our main vision is to make sure that it is decentralized, it's run by various parties, which is our token holders. So people would also ask the same question like, what happens if token holders know the information of my policy,
Great
my medical
question.
costs? No.
Great question, though.
Yeah, it's a great question, right? We will hash those information because those are private information. But why we need to put it on a public blockchain? First of all, the peer-to-peer mutual insurance work when is a huge community. When there's like 50,000 or up to 1 million people that come together to buy a policy, so that everyone that contributes will be eventually, if let's say they meet any accident or the situation happen, they will be able to get the sum assured because there's huge community supporting it. So this way, when the peer-to-peer mutual insurance is launched on the public blockchain, information will be clear that how many people have purchased the policy. But information such as my medical records, we will make sure that those will be hashed away, and anyone that have access to the public blockchain will not know your private information. Yeah.
I see. So that essentially is going to be encrypted. It's not going to be something that's publicly available. If we could talk about now the different types, Val, because we touched on this before and we won't talk about it for too long, but it explains here that there are essentially 4 key areas of insurance: the agricultural, property, personal, accident, life. Yeah. So in a nutshell, are you really any different by design to any insurance company out there in what you'll be able to offer?
Insurance itself is basically calculating risk. As long as you are able to calculate the risk and the policyholder is willing to pay the premium, it's called an insurance already.
Right. So the reason why I ask is just that it seems like the policies and products are going to be very similar, and if not, more robust. But it's actually the technology that you're building on that makes the difference. Is that the key point?
Yeah, you are right to a certain extent. So we're taking the mainstream insurance product, making it accessible, affordable to the unbanked. On top of that, our insurance will be extremely simple.
Okay.
Probably you've seen the example of life policy. It will be 18 to 55-year-old. This age range that we are able to accept, so that our smart contract for the start is able to identify who are the ones that can be part of the pool. On top of that, the claims payout will be extremely simple. It will be based on death sum assured. a very simple life policy. There's no any exclusion or investment component into it. So the challenge that the current industry faces, if they were to introduce their very interesting insurance product to the unbanked,
Right.
it will be very confusing for them because they have to read through like this 20 or 30 pages of the policy wording. What's cover you from A to E,
Yes.
F to Z is all, it will be all excluded.
So your focus is on transparency, being really transparent and clear.
Yeah.
Yes, that's really interesting. So again, if we're trying to consider the main user for cryptocurrencies, and obviously it's a very volatile market as well, Val.
Yeah.
So how are you going to sort of insure, literally in that sense, the investments of people in a very volatile market where sometimes crashes happen?
Yes, so we do not insure based on the value of your tokens. So it is not like up-to-date value of tokens is, say, 500, tomorrow 1,000, the day after maybe 1,005, and then following day is, say, 700. Again, it changes day on day basis. But it's down to the crypto wallet holder. That today we are working with blockchain startup on this project. Them deciding how much sum assured they would like to insure their wallet to be. So maybe they put in, say, 500,000, but they want to insure it minimum 250,000 just to be safe. Anything happen to it, they still have 250,000, and then they have to pay a premium on a monthly basis to ensure that the policy will be incepted. And before the policy is incepted, we actually work together with the global insurer and a technology audit team to look through how they encrypt the wallet and the whole technical specs to ensure that all the security are put in place.
I see.
So this is to prevent any like fraud cases.
Right, and speaking of that, let's talk about fraud. Let's talk about scams and scammers. Often there are many people who fall victim to that kind of situation, particularly in their emails. You know, you'll get people pretending to be a certain company. So in that instance, is the insurance going to cover potentially, you know, those who do fall victim to scams?
That's definitely an area that we will be looking at down the road. Like currently, we're just looking at crypto-assets wallet as a proof of concept first, and then we're looking to launch it to maybe up the value chain, working with exchanges down the value chain, making it available to retail investors. So potentially, especially all the ICOs are happening, what happens if there's a touch there's any scams or fraud cases coming out? Is there any insurance for it? That's an area that we're looking at as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if we could talk about briefly your smart contracts, essentially, you know, it's very far-reaching. In your white paper and in your website, you talk about aspects like triggers, fraud detection, pricing algorithms, claims, submissions. So essentially, your smart contract, is that the core of the design? And is smart contracts fundamentally the key component?
That's the core component, and if you are referring to scaling of PolicyPal Network and the whole system, it's also very important to have key partners because mainly our main vision is to have decentralized insurance, right? So everything needs to be distributed. So as a platform, we are able to come up with the underwriting of the policy, the smart contract to include all the pricing algorithms and also the weather statistic, any other information for our key insurance policies. But we will need to work with token holders, our other parties, and also insurance companies that come on board on the insurance distribution, as well as the hospitals. And also the death registry, unfortunately, to be able to retrieve information for claims payout.
Okay. Yeah. In that respect, let's talk about the partners. I mean, there's some substantial ones related to your blockchain. Can you tell us about some of the leading partners that are related to your venture?
I would love to talk about, but currently I can't review any at the moment.
Okay.
Well, sorry.
That's okay. Well, I'll help you because I noticed that Well, as you mentioned before, very
Yeah.
fortunately, you are the only one currently, or the first one rather, to have been graded and passed through the MAS FinTech regulation system in Sandbox.
Yes.
That's a
Yes.
huge deal. But on top of that, you are also supported by companies like Fenbushi and many others.
Yes.
So I've just made some notes here, and I'm actually just going to go through them and find them for you. But it is so important, I think, that we do discuss these partners. So let's talk about them. We've got PayPal,
Yes.
Fenbushi,
Yes.
500 startups, HSBC,
Yeah.
and the list goes on and on and on. So let's talk about them.
Yeah. So yeah, before I start, I would say that we are the first and currently still the only company that gone through the MS FinTech Sandbox.
Right.
So at the current stage, we're
Really?
still
The only one? Wow.
Yes, so we're very proud of it because it proves our technology to be innovative and our team to be building something what the public wants, which is insurance to make it accessible, affordable, transparent to individuals out there.
Okay.
So talking about partners, we were very lucky. So we started off with Startup Bootcamp FinTech as our accelerator from Europe.
Yes.
And then after that, we got into PayPal incubation. PayPal is a great partner to be. We are on the second batch, so the batch before us was actually 10x in it. So we got connected to very good mentors, business opportunity partnership, and also collaboration opportunity with them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the incubation startup accelerator side. On top of that, we got 500 startups as our investors. We got Fenbushi, BlockchainBrad. Recently, we have Global Brain that came on board.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't made the announcement, but happy to share here.
That's great. Thank you for doing that. I hadn't heard that one.
Thank you. Yeah, I just got it recently. And then for insurance partners, we have close to 20 in Singapore, and many of them are global insurer. Just to name a few, AXA, Aviva, Manulife. These are huge company. Allianz, Ergo. They're huge. So having the partnership established here allows us to scale very quickly globally.
Right.
And being recognized as the only company that gone through the MAS FinTech Sandbox, we have a lot of requests from other insurance companies, not only in this region. When I was in US and also Amsterdam for conference last year, many insurance companies are asking, can they buy the system? Can they collaborate with us?
Yes.
We explore that, but then we think deeper. Instead of just offering the platform as a current system to help to improve maybe 5%, what else can we do more?
Mm-hmm.
Is to rebuild the whole insurance distribution. It's like to be putting it on the decentralized insurance to change how insurance is distributed now.
I see.
How is it being underwritten? Distributed, claims payout. If we go deeper, we are able to change that.
So Val, essentially, sorry to interrupt, but essentially you've been given the credibility tick. By having that initial sandbox approval, that gave you the open doors. Are you getting a lot of interest, obviously from big companies around in the West, for example, in the US, for example, in different places? Are there many people knocking on your doors currently for prospective partnerships?
Yeah, there are people asking for partnerships. So instead of saying yes to just offering what PolicyPal business that we started 2 years ago on the mobile app and platform, we are asking them to go deeper with us to put it on the blockchain technology, changing the current system to be a decentralized system. Of course, it takes time to convince the stakeholders because they are big organizations. But we believe that by building the first initial stage of relationship and having the first conversation with them, allow us to continue and potentially have this kind of partnership. And it will help us in the long term wise because as we establish in the Asian market, as I mentioned, that the platform is
Yes.
scalable globally. We can enter many other areas in down the road.
Right, and to do that, obviously, we alluded to this before, you need a good team. One of the
Yes.
people in your team, your core team, has more than 20 years experience in insurance. So can you tell us about that person, just briefly?
So David Hong has 26 years of experience in insurance. So he actually started his own insurance broking company way back in Singapore and Malaysia. So he started from scratch, building it to be the number 2 insurance broker in Singapore before selling it off to Jardine Lloyd Thompson. He took a break, and then I got connected to him during that time, and through an industry expert. Very warm introduction, managed to get him in, and today he's driving the business on PolicyPal Singapore business, doing new business collaboration with partners, and also his depth of experience really helped us in getting partnership with insurance companies, because imagine that his contacts and the friends, the C-level people in the insurance industry, making a phone call actually make it so easy.
Yes, so he's been quite integral to the success so far, which is fantastic. And I also noticed that in the list of team members you have KC Wong as well, with the full stack developing skills. So how important is that, blockchain experience?
For him, the blockchain experience has started about 2 years ago when he ventured into blockchain and crypto space. He is always doing it on the side project, like exploring and seeing is there opportunity that he can put on PolicyPal existing business. And of course, back then I was still trying to convince the insurance companies to implement blockchain technology on policy management and all. So he's already on the side, like practicing and building things. And today, like he's leading the team to build our token sales smart contract, currently being audited. So down the road, we'll be able to share the audit with the community. I believe this is something that the community have been looking forward to. Like they would love to see the work that is delivered by our team. Currently, any of them who would like to have a look at their work can download our mobile app, go to our website, they see what they have done for the past 2 years.
I see. Yeah. So it's very transparent, as we've mentioned. If we could talk about now, Val, your ICO, the sale. You completed the private sale. You're in the pre-sale, crowd sale phase now. Is that right?
We completed the pre-sale. So what's next is going to start our KYC end of this week. And crowd sale will be starting in another 2 weeks' time.
Okay. Yeah. And just for the record, I have tried to reach out to you before, so obviously I'll get listeners saying, why didn't we talk earlier? I did try. But there's some really...
Sorry.
That's okay. There are really...
a lot of emails. Please forgive me for that.
No, that's fine. So Val, just talking about the ICOs and exchanges as well, do you happen to have any idea of the exchanges and, how we'll progress into specific ones?
I'd love to comment on the exchanges, but at this current stage, I'm afraid we can't
disclose.
I'm so sorry.
So you have some ideas, obviously, and
yes, we're speaking to a few now.
Right. Well, that's exciting as well. If we could talk about now your roadmap, there's some really important things happening, Val, in that area for 2018, right through until the end. Tell me 4 things that are standouts for this year coming up.
The first thing will be the Crypto Protect POC launch. That's extremely important because whatever that we have shared with the public and with the community, we'd like to be able to deliver. Currently, we're already speaking with the blockchain startup based in Singapore. Down the road, what we're looking at is to be able to launch out of Singapore with other blockchain startups and also explore other opportunity. That's key number 1. Number 2 is be able to launch on the Ethereum testnet, alpha release, and then thereafter beta release. To be able to let the community look at what the team has built as well. So it's important that we keep to our timeline. So that's just the two key things.
Right.
So what's that one will be meeting. It will be the launch of peer-to-peer mutual aid insurance in Indonesia, because we have identified as the key market and the first market that we'll be targeting. And then before or after the launch, we'll be announcing one of the partnership with a global player that will help us to scale in the country. We've been in discussion with them for a while. I can't reveal the name.
That's really exciting, though. You said they're a global player, so that's a good sign.
Yes. So they have a strong vision towards helping the emerging markets to get insurance as well. So it's very aligned to what we want to achieve. So these are the four main key things that items that we definitely will want to deliver within the year of 2018. It's very exciting. We have about 10 over months to do it. We hope to be able to deliver. And then down the road in 2019, there'll be more things that we'll be announcing, and also the next market.
Yes, and we'll definitely catch up again and talk about 2019, I'm sure. If you could tell us a bit about the value of the market, though, Val. Val telling us the value, I think that's important. What is the value of this industry? It's huge.
I would love to talk about the value of the crypto industry.
Well, tell us about the value of insurance industry, more importantly.
The insurance industry, definitely.
Yeah, how big is this market?
Currently, this market on a normal insurance every single year is $4.4 trillion. It's bigger than payments market.
Okay.
Can you believe that? Many people will be really surprised when they hear the number.
It's huge.
When they hear it's huge, and it's bigger than payments. Why so? Because insurance is basically, as I mentioned earlier, anything as long as you can calculate the risk, the other party is willing to pay the premiums, they're able to get insurance.
Right.
It's commercial, personal lines, employee benefits, down to the whole life insurance aspect of it. In the developed country, it's 4.4 trillion so far. But in the emerging market, the huge opportunity is $4.4 billion that is untapped at the moment. So believe that by introducing decentralized insurance, making everyone that is part of PolicyPal Network to be involved in this process can help us to scale insurance distribution. Why I'm really passionate about this business is because it is a business that helps people, because many people don't see the need of insurance until something bad happens, and they will wish they always think, oh, I wish I have insurance, or oh, thankfully I have insurance to cover me this.
Yes.
But they never say it when things are fine. But what makes the team really motivated and happy is that when a claim comes in, we are happy to help them process it, because we know we're there to help them when something bad happens. So that keeps us really motivated, and we believe that by changing the industry from a centralized system to the decentralized system can help us to scale the whole insurance business even bigger.
Absolutely, Val. And just on that note, how are you going to ensure that you maintain this pole position? Clearly you have this now in the blockchain. You're a bullet out of the gate. You're running free now in this space, about to complete your ICO. How do you keep on top?
How do we keep on top? I often tell the team to be able to stay on top, we have to move fast. We have to constantly be innovating, thinking what's ahead compared to our other insurance players in the market. We were thinking of the next step. We have to plan ahead. What's the third, fourth, fifth step that we need to take? What else needs to be done so that we can deliver faster, better, not compared to anyone, but just for ourselves at this current stage.
And are you happy with the pace of your company now? Are you happy in the direction it's going and the speed at which it's going?
I'm happy at this current stage, but there's always room for improvement, right? So we definitely hope that we go even faster. Sure. But I really think that the team has been working extremely hard to make this happen. And I really appreciate it very much, really.
That's fantastic. Okay, now we're going to talk about something uncomfortable, and that's your competitors.
Sure.
Obviously, InsurancePal is one of them. So yes, have a drink because you're going to need this. Are you concerned about this InsurancePal company? They obviously have, they're in the game. They've got skin in the game. How concerning is it, or is it concerning at all?
To be honest, it's not. We've been planning our ICO since last August, so a couple of my close contacts know about our plans. And when they saw InsurancePal launch about a month or two ago before us, a few people actually say, "Oh, how come it's called InsurancePal? I thought you guys are PolicyPal.
Right.
Oh, it's a company and all." Asking if I was worried. No, insurance space is huge. As I mentioned, it's 4.4 trillion insurance premiums every single year. It's generated by different insurance companies, insurance brokers, agents all around. The market is huge enough. There's enough for more than one player.
Yes. So
we're happy to have them to come aboard because they have to educate the market together. And what's our competitive advantage mainly is that we have the insurance license. We are an insurance broker. That's already ahead of our partners. We have to establish relationship with the insurance companies. That's ahead of our partners because all this takes time. We've been in talks with our other partners to be able to scale out of Singapore. And we've been around for a while, so people do recognize the brand name. So pretty confident about like what we are today and what we can deliver down the road.
Yes, absolutely. So you've covered all of those concerns. You've covered that you want to be a major player in the game. You're not concerned about others coming in. As you've mentioned, the reality is there are many companies currently in the centralized business of insurance now, and that doesn't seem to impede necessarily. You've explained the multiple trillion-dollar market that it exists. So just as a final thought, Val, for all the people who are listening who are trying to understand PolicyPal, what would you like to say to them, and where can they go to learn more?
You can go to two websites, PolicyPal.com for our existing insurance business, PolicyPal.net for our ICO plans, our twofold visions on providing insurance for the crypto assets and also insurance for the unbanked. So I think that will sum up all for what I have to share about PolicyPal. Believe that anyone who are interested and anyone that would like to read more about, please check out our white paper on PolicyPal.network and then join our Telegram group. There's a lot of users there now. Currently, it's 24,000. So there'll be conversations around asking questions about be it our product, our technology, the team, and also when is the ICO date. So please join the community and engage there.
Absolutely. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to a lady of power, the CEO of PolicyPal. Val Yap, thank you very much for your time today, and hopefully we can talk again in the near future.
Thank you. It's great to be speaking with you, and very honored that you are interviewing me today to be able to share more about what we are building and what we are passionate about. I look forward to catching up with you again.
That'd be
Bye.
fantastic. Thank you.